Hello my friends, in this short video I'll walk you through the steps of installing Mastchain, the new depend project using Docker containers on Linux distributions. Mastchain is a decentralized ship tracking network, decentralized maritime data. It turns real vessel, real ship signals into an open AIS network and rewards us in their native Mast token, which will transit on the PEAQ blockchain soon. What does this all mean? Well, to participate, you'll need locations near vessel trafficking areas or even on the ships themselves. I'll explain later. You shouldn't try it if you're farther than 50-60 kilometers from such areas, cause this is the maximum of what an AIS radio transmission could reach in normal conditions, and boats don't fly. Intro out. This install guide works for do-it-yourself stations using Raspberry Pis or similar mini computers, Crank Raspberry Pi based gateways, similar Helium hotspots running the Crank OS for SSH access. The minimum that it would need would be a Raspberry Pi 3B. But if there aren't any hardware restrictions, these setups should work on any Linux distributions computers that support Docker containers. I assume Docker is installed and running on your system. I use the legacy install. I'll leave a link down below with the install guide. I'll also assume basic SSH skills are present. The video will show the software side, so I'm assuming all the necessary parts to participate in Mastchain are already connected or installed. The AIS-Catcher Docker build has a nice web control interface that could be easily browsed. It's a multi-purpose build with a lot of options, and I'll let you dive into it if you desire to. To use the AIS-Catcher Docker container with the control interface, you have to use the install guide here, linked down below, and after the container is up and running, in the web control interface, by output, HTTP, add your Mastchain credentials and save them. The container will run and restart automatically with the system. You can change the antenna and receiver settings by input. There are many options to dive into, and these options that are in our interest, that are Mastchain specific, will be commented later on this video. The Mastchain-AIS container, my build, an unofficial Mastchain build forked from the AIS-Catcher that I presented earlier, is Mastchain specific. I removed all the noise and kept only the important configurations. You can say I stripped AIS-Catcher for Mastchain. That didn't sound that right. Jokes aside, to run the Mastchain-AIS container, links down below, follow the README file. There are two ways. The quick setup, one config file, one command line. The command line parameters are explained in detail. Modify, add them, delete them as you wish. The antenna and receiver parameters are in the config file, explained lower in the README. My recommended setup, if you use my build, use the Docker Compose one. Why? Because you can edit the settings in the same time the container is running and restart it with the new settings. All the config file parameters are explained in detail. Edit the config file to apply them, but if you're a noob like me, don't. Not without prior research. Some settings might damage your receiver. The cool bonus is that you can use a script I made, built specifically for my Mastchain container, where you can easily change any settings. To use the script, it has to be downloaded in the same directory where the Mastchain-AIS Docker Compose and config files are, and make it executable. The script is thought about every possible outcome, or that's what I believe. Hopefully, I thought about every possible outcome. You can give me feedback in the comments, I don't mind. The options are Mastchain related: credentials, antenna, receiver configurations, additionally the web viewer and its options, the community hub feeder, and mobile stations. Most of the options presented are pretty much self-explanatory. I don't have to comment on them, but as I specified, do your research before changing anything. Some settings might damage your equipment, so stay on the safe side. All the values, options and flags are taken from the AIS-Catcher docs, filtered for Mastchain usage. The safest values are the defaults. Go with those the first time and build up from there. I said earlier not to deploy stations if the location is too far, only if it's closer to ship traffic areas or on a boat, ship or vessel. Both AIS-Catcher and Mastchain support mobile stations, at least at the time I'm making this video. In order to make a station mobile for Mastchain, firstly, set your station as mobile on the Mastchain dashboard. An additional GPS module, dongle, is needed. I'll place a link with the cheap one down below. It has to be connected to the host and usually under the clear sky, meaning it has to get satellite signal to connect to. The script automatically detects the GPS module as serial device. In my case I have two, one is for Wingbits, it's the geosigner. The last one is the one I want to use. The script automatically detects the baud rate of the GPS device and applies it. But not all baud rates can be easily detected. I leave a list with known baud rates for these small devices to add them manually, which is also supported by my script. Oh, and if you want to see your station's position on the map in the web viewer, as I can see mine, the share location option, which is by default off for privacy reasons, and the use GPS option after the web viewer port selection have to be on. A summary is shown at the end. If confirmed, the script runs the Mastchain container applying the configuration. If the selected options are not the desired ones, answering no would restart the script, but this time the Mastchain credential and the community hub identification are stored. You won't have to reinsert them. The script will ask for confirmation just in case you would want to change them. Maybe something was inserted wrongly previously. As I said, I think I thought about everything, at least I hope so. I mentioned Wingbits in geosigner earlier. I made a Medium article about running both Mastchain and Wingbits on the same Linux host using my containers without serial devices conflicts. I'll make a proper video about how exactly to do it and why there are conflicts when both receivers are connected to the same host. All this said, I hope this video is useful for you. If you liked it, do those things influencers cry about every time. Give it a like, give it a subscription to my channel for the algorithm to take off, and share it with others that might find it useful as well. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers!